Number 3. I'm Asterix. Next to me is Lyric. And game 3 is about 4 minutes 50 seconds in. So we will be able to jump live, uncage our Twitch chat on that note as well, and be able to run through into this one. So Lyric, we got to talk through picks a little bit as we're going to see this one on the screen. I will admit my feed at the moment is showing the actual game. I have to find out when that actually goes in, but we are looking at, you know, Weiwei on Lilia again, Mole on Zoe, so some big power picks across the board.
And V5 back on that Jhin pick didn't net them a win in game 1, but again, we talked about how both these players prefer this. The interesting thing, though, is the fact that we're seeing Biubiu on the Camille, so once again, BLG wanting to play around that top side.
We are actually seeing that there's a bit of an engaged topside. We came in the perfect time. It's 0-0. Maybe the first piece of action. Biubiu has no mana and Weiwei goes in. It's a 1-for-1 trade. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to game 3. V5 and BLG is over the wall to escape. The 1-for-1 trade will take note because Langx and Biubiu both died.
Yeah, nice kills coming up from both sides. I'm glad you can confirm for me that we were actually in game Asterix because I had no idea, but
I know.
You know, nice trades coming out. We are still seeing Langx win this lane matchup, which is a bit expected. Sure, Camille is taking the Ignite, so can deal a bit more with the Renekton aggression. But like we said, you want to see that jungle pressure. You want to see that pressure coming from mid, since we do have the Predator on the Galio. Still not 6, so the ult not available to make those roams, but we should be seeing that shortly.
Okay, well, so I'm just going to take note as well that after that play, we get a kill on both of the junglers. And as we are, you know, a little bit into game 3, let's just look at the Ionian Boots of Lucidity versus the Iron Spike Whip. Weiwei going for the cooldown reduction, and maybe we see that in action. And it's fighting over topside scuttle seems to be the play.
Mole doesn't have any mana, though.
And they're going for the engage. Onto Meteor once again. He puts up the shield. A 2-man shield of Duran from Zeka. But BLG want to run away from this one. Sleep only onto the Nautilus, who gets sniped on out and flashed on over by Zeka. Another kill going over to V5 in this early game.
Guess what, Asterix? It doesn't matter if Mole has mana, if Langx's able to move first and Biubiu doesn't come. Overall, nice play coming out from V5, and they drafted this comp that has pressure in all 3 lanes, right? Renekton's going to push up against the Camille. Maokai will secure pressure for their bottom lane up against Mark's Nautilus. And Zoe in early levels, obviously doing quite favorable into the Galio until he does get a few base levels himself and can start clearing that wave. So we've seen V5 get into a very comfortable draft situation and at least coming to a bit of a head start with this gold lead.
And I also love that V5 have gone back to what they know, right? The Jhin, the Zoe lineup once again, something V5 have done many times in 2020. And then you have something like the Maokai that can, you know, pivot the engage, but also be part of the burst threat with the Imperial Mandate and the Sapling Max that we normally see out of this support.
Yeah, Maokai is obviously extremely great team fighter, really good when champions want to run into him, and also provides a lot of, I'd say, zone control and potential angles for flanks as well. So I think he'll do quite a good job at locking down members like Meteor and Biubiu if they do look for any flanks or engages onto the likes of Mole or Y4.
A nice lockdown combo at that to summarize as well. A lot of tier 2 boots across the board. You're actually noticing that, you know, discussion we had a couple of weeks ago that tier 2 boots are very popular as a first buy, as a item optimization. And people like Jhin, Zoe, like there's tier 2 boots for pretty much everyone.
Yeah, obviously just very gold efficient item. They work a lot of, obviously we're talking generically about tier 2 boots, but obviously depending on what you get, helping you a lot of ways in different matchups. The one we were highlighting the other day is obviously the Ionian Boots of Lucidity, which you're seeing a lot more since the buff up to 20% ability haste, which again, obviously a lot of us are still in that mindset of CDR from the old days. It is about 17%, so it's actually quite a bit.
It's huge from just your boots alone, you know, very gold efficient as the ability haste there, but top side, we're now into Dominus. The Hextech Ultimatum launched down. It's going to be a 2 versus 2 where they're just turning onto Weiwei. BLG bring in the help as well. Oh my lord, Zeka flies on through and he blocks the Paddle Star as well, the burst damage needed from Mole. Meteor doing the same, he's ignited down, Mole steals a flash himself, and I think he's going to turn it around. They bait him in, BLG have walked in, that burned so many flashes, and a triple kill at 9 minutes is horrible for BLG.
And I don't want to repeat myself from game 1, but again, this is Mole's best champion. I was going to start out by saying this is how BLG want to play their comp. Play around the top side, let Biubiu go aggressive. He has the Ignite. Follow up with Zeka and Meteor. They do it to a T. And then we're going to see here, right? I'm sorry for getting ahead of myself. I should have known we were getting a replay. They go in. They lock Langx down right away. Again, the Galio follows up very easily. And then you have numbers advantage. Mole's still full HP. Nice for him to get a bit of damage on Zeka. And I feel like Weiwei is also one we should note because, again, with that movement speed, doing such a nice job of weaving around. But the most important thing is the fact that Mole is able to pick up all these summoners. This is why Zoe does thrive in these river skirmishes early on. And it leads to that victory for V5.
And the most powerful part about that play is that Mole was willing to burn his real flash after getting right into the thick of it, of that fight. Burns it out, uses the Chilling Smite, weaves through the battle, and is now 3-0-1 because of it. The Loon Zeka is going to be coming very shortly, folks. He's got a bounty, and after Weiwei baited them in, there's a bit of a gold lead for V5 at 2,000 at 10 minutes in the game.
And now it's going to be about what can V5 do with this pressure in mid and top lane. Obviously, right now, the easy answer is take the Herald, but I wonder if they're going to pivot more towards top or mid. I kind of expect you are going to put this down for Langx, who has been doing quite a good job in this lane matchup, despite the fact that he hasn't gotten any plates out of it yet. BLG, though, going to have to look for answers on the bottom side of the map, but Meteor is still just clearing from top to bottom. He's nowhere near Dragon. He's nowhere near his bottom lane.
Yeah, just wants to kind of keep the pace going over Weiwei, who we know is on Lily is going to be a lot faster of a clearer. You'd also see that, you know, Weiwei being safe towards this bottom lane, and this is paying the respect. You're sacrificing your bottom lane when you're going for this Herald, so Weiwei's not giving any advantages over to BLG.
And we do see Aiming using his ultimate to just clear another wave and also put some pressure onto Weiwei. Not going to turn it into too much. We don't see BLG in a position yet where they can go for Drake. And now that recall timings have come out for the side of V5, we also see that Weiwei and Ppgod can just start heading down bot. They are probably going to start controlling this river vision with Mole being able to hover.
I was going to say that, you know, Mole moving down is going to be huge. Just also remember that as we're talking about objectives and we're talking about movement, what you set up was Zeka's influence on this BLG composition, and we want to see that hero's entrance lined up nicely with the engage from BLG.
And it's going to be harder now. I wonder if this is where BLG does make their play towards topside. I think BLG should ignore this.
And they're going to start the engage. BLG, are they going to really ignore it? Sleep comes down, and in comes Meteor. They actually have a great position. They still get the first kill on the side of V5, but it's traded off quickly with nothing much Mole can do. Ppgod's leading them on a chase, and the tree is back amongst his friend in the bushes as the teleport comes through as well. This time around, it's going to be Biubiu who finds himself over the wall, and Ppgod just smashes down with a bit of nature. Everyone loves trees until you cut them down.
Yeah, and overall, V5 lose 2 members. I thought it was going to go better for the side of V5 with the fact that they were able to buy a lot of time with that Zhonya's coming out for Weiwei. It does look like most Paddle Star was just off by an inch onto Aiming, who probably would have just gotten, you know, chunked to like 10% HP had that landed. Biubiu also expending the teleport, giving a bit more of an advantage. So now the question is, as that does nothing, can V5 use this TP advantage that they now have in the top lane to, you know, try and maybe force a play on Dragon? Or what can BLG do with the fresh injection of gold that they just got?
At least they know that no one's going to join the Rift Herald that's been set up for Mole. The big condition that once again for V5 is being utilized well. Mole missing the Paddle Star there. He's a bit out of mana, but the gold is going to be channeled over to Weiwei as well for another 160 because he placed the Herald, and this opens up that Mythic very early on for Mole. He'll be one of the few in the game to pick it up and then some in this first 15 minutes.
Yeah, I was going to say, I do actually expect that most players by now probably do have the gold for their mythics. We've already seen Biubiu and Meteor be able to pick up theirs, Aiming as well. So we're probably just waiting on backs now coming out from Y4 and Mole. And still, I'd really like to see some pressure as we see Aiming throw out his ultimate. Put down towards the bottom side for V5. You have TP advantage. We still have the first Drake up that hasn't been taken.
Peekaboo. Is he going to steal it? He does. Oh my god. That's John Wick.
I mean, why is V5 on top side, Hysterics?
Well, he wanted a red buff, you know? He's got a Zhonya's Hourglass instead of his Mythic, and he thought, it's fine, even if I meet with Pantheon, you know, I'll be alright. But steals the red buff, walks away, and Meteor continues to have a slight lead in this jungle.
Again, all I'm waiting for is V5 to play for this Dragon. For the side of BLG, I think you can just head towards top once again. I don't think losing first Dragon even matters for you. You have all your tools to set up for the gank and dive onto the Renekton right now. Mole doesn't have teleport, so he won't even be able to respond. So send Pantheon and Galio up towards that top side and look for the kill onto the Crocodile.
That's a very real possibility. Zeka absorbing pressure through the mid lane. Mark's now shown himself. V5 has still not touched this dragon. We're 15 minutes in, and the first dragon is still sitting there. So we're going to have a very late soul if we even get to that, or even soul, to say the least. Elder is what I meant before. Langx getting dove, and BLG making a quick play. They're not sacrificing dragon as of yet, which has only just been started.
And I mean, it was a telegraph play for the side of BLG. Nice coming out from them. V5 going to answer in response with the dragon and the mid lane turret. Both of these objectives were free for V5 regardless, so that's why we wanted to see BLG make that play towards the top side, get that kill, and even potentially the tower with Camille.
Will they kill Mark as well? That's the question. Into the Sleepy Trouble Bubble. Mark, not enough range from Mole. And the level 7 versus the level 11 Zoe. So BLG don't sacrifice more than they have to. And remember, gold is only still about 2,000.
Yep, and we are getting to the point where side lanes are going to be open. So this will at least benefit Biubiu a bit more. And obviously the global tools that BLG have. So I'm sure we're going to continue to see a lot of those same side lane and pick tools come into play. For V5 now, they've taken mid lane turret, they've taken bot lane turret, so I think we can expect to see potentially Y4 and Ppgod put towards the top side of the map because we're far away from Dragon being up, and just continue to push through mid and then hover to top to take that top lane outer.
Are they changing up? That's the real question. They're just walking towards mid lane for now. We've got Mythics across the board again, just to highlight that, you know, there were a couple before, but now it's pretty much complete. The Zhonya's has turned past that and gone into the Moonstone Renewer, so the usual build was still seen, but because Weiwei wasn't that far ahead, or at least going for a different composition entirely, it wants the healing.
Now we're going to see V5 just kind of do what we set up, right? Push through mid, start controlling the topside river and topside jungle, to start transitioning this into that topside turret.
Getting pressure, deep vision. Biubiu sitting on the side lane, this Camille exactly where she wants to be, but Ping's getting thrown down while V5 are just going to angle for mid. Y4 uses the Gale Force and Zeka runs away. But nothing else until Herald gets started. V5 are just kind of moving around while Biubiu needs to be responded to. He's going to do a lot of damage to this turret, might even take it.
Again, just a lot of baffling decisions coming out from V5 this game after finding some really good early game skirmishes. They're giving Biubiu way too much breathing room. They're making a lot of the decisions on the objectives that they can go towards late. And Biubiu just got this for absolutely nothing. And I guess the response could be, right, oh, well, V5 are taking Herald, V5 are taking topside turret. Those should be V5's objectives anyway. V5 are definitely stronger. They set like 5-man once they are on that side of the map. So it just feels like V5 are giving up some objectives for free. And BLG, kudos to them. They are completely capitalizing them. And this game is still pretty much even.
BLG gave away a triple kill to Mole at 9 minutes in the game. The Zoe has well and truly snowballed. And so has my voice, apparently. And it's gotten to the point where Horizon focus should be towards that next back in the next 3-4 minutes time. We should have that huge burst just coming out from the mid laner of V5. You got to also note that Langx in a matchup we talked about a lot of times, Lyric, correct me if I'm wrong, you know, a bit of a counter matchup in the early levels. For Renekton, has that CS lead still.
Langx just always been very stable, especially on a champion like Renekton. It's something we saw him on a lot in 2020. We're also going to get to see the gold on the left side of our screens, right? Not surprising that Mole and Biubiu are the ones leading that, but overall V5 still with the gold lead. So Zeka seems like to really have been the player that has suffered. Obviously, Mole getting the triple kill early on, and the fact that Zeka is on this global mid laner who constantly looks to lead lane and give up CS.
Good tag down here from Y4. Mole landing the troll bubbles is huge as Herald comes down. This is Herald number 2, Shelly number 2. I should say, Charlene is her name, and BLG still going to sit around mid. They're not going to give away the inner turret for free, but I don't think there's any choice. V5 just move up, and there they go. Another objective goes down. They want to find the fight after the fact, but it'll stop right there.
So still the gold lead actually doesn't change at all, right? We're still at a 2K gold lead for the side of V5. The thing is, with the way that both of these comps work, actually. Primarily for V5, they really need a team fight win to snowball into a greater objective, like a Baron, or if we do get to, you know, like a Dragon Soul point. BLG will at least have ways to kind of turn forward the gears of the game by continuously having Biubiu in that side lane. So right now it's going to be a lot about BLG still playing around that side lane Camille threat. Maybe if someone's too far forward like Ppgod, you do still have something like the Pantheon ultimate to jump in and try and find that pick. And for V5, I think it's just, hey, catch your side waves when they are on your side, group up mid, and look for the engage either with like Swirl Seed into sleep or just opening up the curtain call from Y4 outright.
But hey, could you hear that? Could you hear that just going past our house then? Because you know we're living in, if anyone doesn't know, we're living in the same place. I could hear the ice cream man, right? That's the only logic I could put towards me. That means something good's coming. Because I've been waiting. I've been waiting for this full-on fight, or let's just say like this pick to come through, and for V5 to find something else, or BLG to force with the Galio again. And if it is the ice cream man, then it means this dragon is going to be good. Or maybe it's bad ice cream. Oh no. Oh, it's not home ice cream. If anyone lives in Australia, home ice cream is by far the best. It used to come around every Saturday or Sunday, and it used to. I think it was the one that played Greensleeves. And the kids used to go out, the 6-year-old hysterics run out, and oh, it is Ice Cream Man. Good dodge away here from aiming, and he's actually going to get slept. No, runs out of range in the end. They go in for the twisted advance, and Bullet Time zones him out, but Mole's in there again, and Mark still hasn't been locked on down. And Weiwei can't find the target either. Meanwhile, Biubiu's just hitting down turrets. As the poke comes through once again, and holy yep, down he goes, and V5 in front of Baron. Are they going to take it? They're worried about Biubiu.
I was going to say, though, V5 need to transition this into more. Maybe if they can get a pick on a Biubiu, this can turn into Baron.
Weiwei gets down pretty dangerously. He's already used the sleep, the trouble bubble there. It is sleep for sleep. There's double sleep on this team, I just realized. I don't know what happens if you get a trouble bubble and then Weiwei ults. Lilting Lullaby from a sleepy trouble bubble and you just go into a coma.
No. It doesn't work like that, Hysterics. It does not interact that way, but...
Oh, that'd be great. Put the enemy into a coma.
The fact that V5 couldn't get anything off their pick, I think... BLG, I'm sorry, are the ones who come out ahead from that trade. They're able to get more damage on the topside turret.
Yeah, but we saw one pick. V5 found it. 2k gold lead still there. Horizon focus now picked up with Seeker's arm guard for this Zoe, and at 20 CS, at 200 CS a minute. Sorry, 200 CS in total. It's been a long night, as you can tell, guys. I've run out of my Coca-Cola, and I've eaten my Vegemite, and you know, I haven't given Lyric food either, so he's probably dying. So that's not good, but we'll make it through. It's game 3, our second game 3 of the night, and I'm hoping we finally see some fighting around this next dragon, or potentially the threat of Baron, because Mole just deletes.
The fact that we don't see the Leandry's Lilia coming out this time around, I think means it's a lot less likely we're going to see any kind of rush Barons. We also have a Jhin, right? So not exactly a ton of DPS for Baron on V5 side. Same goes for BLG. You have the Camille, so it's a bit better, but at the same time, Misfortune, Pantheon. I really doubt we're going to get any kind of Baron baits or shenanigans coming out this game.
Yeah, okay. Thank you for setting expectations, Lyric. I like to be optimistic, but you're a realist, and sometimes that doesn't make me happy. And Weiwei coming up to the top side. Zeka, will he use the hero's entrance to get out? The sleep trying to be angled with the swirl seed. The curtain call line's true as well. Mole's there off the side of the wave, but he'll be blocked. And I'm trying to realize, Lyric, what is that Zoe steals? Or is that just an icon bug? Because it looks like a powder keg or something.
I actually didn't see what it was, but V5 are going to look for the engage mid.
Top left of your screen, there's Mole running through. But they poke them out. V5 moving through the Chokin River. You can see pings are going down. They're like, should we? Shouldn't we? Let's think about it a bit more. Meteor, has he been tagged down? Of course, it is a Pantheon, but they choose not to.
Yep, and they are just going to turn towards the topside scuttle. So at least still trying to control topside vision. Maybe they do look for a Baron play to try to force out Biubiu's TP, but if BLG's patient and realize, hey, V5 don't really have the damage, they could even just try to have like a bit of a stare down, a bit of a posture battle to force V5 off that objective. In the end, V5 don't go for it, and Biubiu doesn't keep pushing, so It seems like both of these teams are feeling extremely tense in this game 3.
Yeah, intense is right. Whoop! Okay. Well, aiming, a bit of danger, time to run away. I found out, thanks to our, 5-head chat, it was actually the Hextech Rocket Belt, from the biggest understanding.
It looked like Rocket Belt, but the color was like slightly brownish. I'm not sure if it's because of like obviously the program we're using for broadcast, but
yeah,
we are going to see V5 go towards Baron.
Maybe it was from 8-bit, maybe it was from like Doom 64 kind of level of quality of graphics, as you're right. The Baron being started, but it's not being pulled away from. Pings are coming down, and BLG want to hype me up a little bit. Dredgeline goes into the wall. Mark wants in with the depth charge, but Langx flashes in. While in the meanwhile, backline access enabled here from Meteor. Sets up for the hero's entrance, and V5 are like, get out of my lane, as Langx is tanking up still with the curtain call lined up, the bullet time as well. All used. Trouble bubbles there, and Moly moly, just runs in, destroys BLG in one shot, and V5 feeling it with a numbers advantage.
Still 2 for 3, extremely close overall. Again, V5 win the fight. V5 have the gold lead, but V5 not really able to turn this into any objective. Dragon, luckily this time, is coming up, so hopefully can get something for this. Mole also has TP, so he can get here immediately, and Meteor, he might have smite, but he's nowhere close.
This is just a Zoe series. Lyric, doesn't matter if it's Zeka or Mole, our Zoes have looked exceptional. And the picks are coming through thick and fast. We've got another dragon going down. It's Soul time, ladies and gentlemen. And, I love the 60s and the 70s. I love Soul. So if V5 managed to pick it up, we move to an Elder, we move to that shield that's going to be so hard for BLG to push through.
Yeah, for both sides, right? We have very burst-oriented compositions. Obviously, really the only member on either side that provides like consistent DPS is Camille. I guess Lilia to a degree with her passive, but we are going to see here V5 being the ones to engage at first. Immediately, Meteor jumps to the back line with his ultimate, and then keep your eyes on Mole. He's at a safe distance, throws out the Paddle Stars. Y4 opens up the curtain call, and then Mole able to play with this terrain, just bursting people out. Weiwei doing a nice job as well, throwing out these like seedlings. And again, V5 are the ones who are going to be able to take the fight.
I'll also throw some props out to Y4, who was just chunking in the end of that fight as well. So a lot of elements coming together after BLG looked like they won the fight, and V5 are right back to where they started. That thing is looking at them saying, please eat me.
And there we do see the highlight for Mole and Weiwei. Again, so much damage coming out from these two members. They've long been the core of V5 along with Ppgod. I guess not long. It's been one split, but they're going for Baron, and that's what we want to see.
Hey, long in the LPL standards, that's for sure. Mole zoning off the back. He's hit Biubiu though. Hookshot, walkshot away. Mole predicts so, and Biubiu is so low that could have changed everything. The sleep goes down as well onto Zeka, who has to back away. Mark as well extends the range as Baron goes down. The curtain call here. The grasping roots fly through. Nimble are they as Ppgod wants to chase this up with the rest of Mole. Zoe is so fast, so cute. And Zoe mains are XDing across the world as they watch Mole pick up yet another flash. Shield of Durand used. He gets into the range. A hook shot, wall shot, but Mole goes golden. The bullet time won't work. He flashes over the wall. Lyric is still alive somehow as Zeka runs back in. He too will die. And V5 love their bloody mid laner.
V5 get the Baron, they get the team fight after an extended chase, and like you said, Mole playing that so well mechanically. Nice to see the follow-up coming from members like Ppgod, Y4, and Weiwei as well. And again, this is just going to open up the map so much for V5. Props to BLG, they've kept the gold lead close so far, but V5 should be able to get a lot with this Baron.
But what do you do when you have a champion who has like 5 different abilities? Like... Oh, the flash is picked up in that fight. The flash in the pan, that Mole definitely isn't. This just shows you why you are someone who's talked up Mole. You get the credit for this. You said this guy is a top 5 mid laner, and some people agree, some people don't.
What did I say in our last series about Mole? What is this the year of?
He's going to Worlds. Oh, it's the year of Mole. He's going to Worlds, you said.
That's what I said. LEC, they have the year of the duck. Here in LPL, it's the year of the Mole. This guy... one of the best mid laners we have in LPL. So versatile. I love the way he plays. And again, he shows in games like this what he's able to do. V5 as a team, I'm going to temper my expectations again. I'm going to be an honest analyst. they still have a lot of room to grow. They're still, I'd say, not necessarily one-dimensional, but very limited in many aspects. But there are games like this where we do see Weiwei and Mole especially able to come together, Y4 able to do his job, where the team can put it together and find an advantage. But I don't want to count out BLG just yet. Again, they've kept the gold extremely close. Think about everything we just saw and realize that BLG are still only behind by 4K.
4,000 gold. V5 are hitting this top lane turret, and you can see already Biubiu's not interested in that. He's just walking towards the mid lane. V5 still pushing in, and for BLG, this is going to be their defense against the Baron buff. Mole runs forward onto Zeka, takes a lot of damage. The Trouble Bubble is there as well. Onto the inhibitor as well. Mole misses that last shot, but it doesn't matter. It's enough pressure to push past, get the inhibitor, while Biubiu is trying to aim for something for BLG's favor.
Hey, we've seen backdoors win games. Actually, we saw a backdoor win a game against BLG. JDG actually doing that to them. I think it was in game 1 versus them, so maybe Biubiu trying to pull a bit out of their playbook.
Meteor wants to use that global ult as well while dragging the attention from Biubiu, who just hit the mid lane down. He will get the turret, which is a small win despite what happened in the top lane, or rather on top of their loss already there. Let me just use my English properly. At least you got something, brother. BLG now posturing around the dragon, and this is Mountain Soul. They need to stop V5 from getting this. This will be the nail in the coffin for the series.
Again, we need to keep our eyes on Biubiu. Can he lock down Mole and combo with the Galio?
Well, he's going in. He's found Mole, and the Hextech ultimatum. Is he going to go down? Goes Golden in the nick of time. In comes the Pantheon ult as well. The hero's entrance lines up the side. Mole's dead. To the winds of war. He's down. V5 have lost their core carry, and now it doesn't matter. Biubiu off to the side. Weiwei's running away. I think Biubiu needs to be careful about this one. The hookshot, wallshot doesn't connect. He's spinning to winning, and I think the dragon going down is a win for BLG. They've stopped the soul. Weiwei still does a lot of damage. Biubiu just wanted to get him away. He's done his job, as this Bambi will die in the end, as Clement will call it. And now for Langx. We're fighting as well. V5, you need to cut your losses. You need to run away. If Langx dies, that's a big timer, but he'll sacrifice his life to no estate.
This is why not even 60 seconds ago we said you can't count BLG out just yet. They had one simple combo up. We're probably going to get a replay, but it's so simple I'm going to say it anyway. Just land the hookshot, wallshot on Camille into the Hextech ultimatum onto the Zoe. Bring in Galio, bring in Pantheon. If you take out Mole, you don't have the same amount of damage for V5. They don't thrive in these close-up, very brawly skirmishes. You need to give Zoe, Lilia, and Jhin kind of the room to play with their long-range abilities.
I need to tell you a quick story, Lyric, before we see fighting again. Clement told me over here, you know, the garbage truck plays da-da-da-da-da-da. I can hear it right now out our window. So someone's going in the trash. We just got to find out who's getting put in the bin after this series, because we'll put you outside. You'll get taken, and we won't see you for at least another couple of days. And right now, V5, they felt like they had the lead. They felt like they had everything going well, but the fight from BLG secured means this game goes on. We head towards Baron in 50 seconds time. I truly want to know who's going to smell like dried banana and garbage juice after this one.
What? What is your garbage, man? And wait,
have you not pulled out garbage?
No, I want to clarify first. Do you get your garbage back after a few days? Because you said you'll see them again in a few days. Does your garbage man bring it back?
No, not unless I annoy them. No, definitely not. Or not unless you don't put the bins out. You know, otherwise it sits there for a couple of days. Maybe we don't put them in the chute. Don't analyze the analogy. Just deal with it. But you know how I am. You've been working with me for a year. Half of chat knows who I am. The other half are like, what the hell is this guy saying? Welcome to the LPL, by the way.
So what we should talk about is the fact that aiming has Mercurial Scimitar, if I did pronounce that correctly. So paying a lot of respect to the main man in the mid lane. Though, then again, a lot of members of V5 have a way to lock him down, so not really only targeted at him.
I think as well, starting this Baron, you know, we're going to have to look at items a little bit closer, a little bit quicker, because there are big power spikes across the board. I'm not going to get time. Biubiu's going in. Has he been caught out? Hextech ultimate to dodge away from Deadly Flash. Sets up for the bullet time. Lines down for the hero's entrance as well. The shield of Duran hits Mole. Remember, this Zoe is everything for the composition as Biubiu runs away. Spin from Weiwei as he goes golden. Low blinking health bars. Langx absorbing the damage though with Gore Drinker is massive on the back line. Look, that's a snipe number one. Snipe number two. Meteor flashes away from the crit shot as Biubiu is running. Mole lives on. He's got a Gore Drinker. He uses it in the end because why not? And V5 just need this top laner to keep the push alive.
Yeah, V5 ended up winning the fight. It looked extremely harsh for them going in, but they were able to kind of come off of good positioning, especially, I think, from the likes of players like Langx and Weiwei. They are going to be able to translate this into the Baron, so another potential push into the base of BLG. We do still have some inhibitor turrets open, so the fact that you have top lane inhibitor, if you can break down either mid or bot and start getting that siege onto the Nexus, it feels like this should at least guarantee V5 the likes of Mountain Soul.
Lyric, can I ask you, remember at the start of this series we talked about Jhin being a pick that both of these teams had only won with. Does that stat remain true from game one and game two? Did we track that?
No, it doesn't remain true because of game one.
Very sad, but at the very least, you know, high win rate in the series, and it's looking like it with how Y4 played this fight with the rest of V5.
And again, it looked really bad at first. V5 are all getting engaged, and we talked about how they need to play from a range. And if you even follow Mole, he misses so many paddle stars. We already saw one right there on our screen, but Langx is creating a lot of space on this Renekton. Obviously, using the Gore Drinker, didn't have the Dominus up, so surprising he does live, having the GA, which does buy more time. And it gave Y4 and Mole the room to clean up the fight. I think emphasis on Y4 because, again, Mole sadly did miss a lot of those skill shots.
At least, you know, hit the Deadly Flourish, I think, was one of them at the very start before we saw that replay. So the one that made the biggest difference acquired as over the wall, got a trouble bubble again. There's a twisted advance, follow through. Ppgod ults down as well. The god, the myth, the legend, or rather the deity is into the backline. They want to hit Y4. Meteor's there, sets up for the Galio ultimate. He flies on down, but remember, I talked about Mole here. As we get a three-man shield of Duran, it might not matter. V5 live on. Mole bursts them down, and a triple kill already acquired by Y4. Can we get the Penta? No, because Mole has about 10 flashes in his kit. This is all V5 need after an exemplary series. They'll run into the Nexus and take down BLG to propel them in the standings.